So again, this army coming out of the Euphrates, this army ISIS, it seems to connect with Revelation 9. And another possible translation of that verse in Revelation 9 that we saw was that the army is preparing for the day, month, and year that is coming. In other words, the day of the asteroid impact that the Bible tells us certain governmental powers are aware of. Because remember, Amos 5 says, "Those who change the time of wormwood and make quiet truthfulness in the earth and seek the object that passes the Pleiades and Orion will turn the darkness into the break of day and make the day dark with night that causes the waters of the sea to pour out upon the surface of the earth. Yehovah is his name." So it's not clear if Yehovah is the name of the object itself or the name of those who change the time to wormwood. It's not clear here in Amos 5, but again, Hosea tells us Yehovah is the beast, and Daniel tells us that beast is the world government. So it appears that Amos is telling us that the world government is keeping the timing of wormwood a secret. Revelation 8 right here clarifies that wormwood is the asteroid. So the world government may have kept the timing of it secret, like Amos says, but the secret of its existence has been leaked, or seems to have been leaked, by many different people, including the Vatican Cardinal Malachi, who said that the Vatican telescopes were tracking a heavenly object or something like that. So the powers that be seem to know that this object is coming and they're preparing for it. But unfortunately, Amos 9 goes on to say that their preparations won't save them. Only God can save them. It says that over and over in the text. The only ones who will live are those that are elected to be rescued by the Elohim. Right here in Matthew 24, it says, "No flesh would survive if the elect were not rescued." That's basically what verse 22 is saying. It's combined. Verse 22 combines with other scriptures for the full meaning, and we go into that in the video Escape from the Serpent. It's linked below. But who is the elect? It tells you it's the blessed. It's not those of a certain country or those of a certain race or those of a certain religion. We've talked about that. Israel refers to all of humanity. It refers to those who will be rescued. Israel refers to all of humanity, and those who will be rescued are a great multitude. It tells us right here, which no human can number, of all nations and kindreds and people and languages. So the governments won't be able to save themselves, and the churches can't save anyone either. Only God can save us, and God doesn't choose according to the judgments and segregations of humans. And specifically, those who try to save themselves instead of helping others, it tells you right here, their efforts to save themselves will fail. I mean, Jesus said the same thing. But here in Amos 9, it says, though they dig underground, though they climb to heaven, though they go under the ocean, they won't make it. Because only God can save us. That's what Matthew 24 said. Not humans, not churches, not the government. And not a doomsday vault in your backyard either. Only God. So, I mean, that wasn't even apparent to me a few years ago, because you might remember I left New York and went into the mountains, which is a whole nother story, but which I'm glad I did for other reasons. But the point here is the rescue is going to happen no matter where you are, and the destruction is going to happen no matter where you are. You can't escape from it. Only God can take you out, away from it. So that's part of what Matthew 24 is saying. It says no flesh would survive this event that's coming if God did not intervene. So that's the point. That's why the rescue happens. Because if it didn't happen, no flesh on the planet would survive. Okay, so this army that is prepared in the Euphrates, it says here in Revelation 9, it's a huge army. And it's preparing for the day the asteroid impacts. And that's when it's going to attack in the third part of the earth. Well, so we don't know exactly where that third part is, but what we do know is that it includes the seat of the beast, which very likely refers to New York City, because it says in Revelation 16, the seat of the beast will be full of darkness. And the current phase of the beast is the United Nations, which is headquartered in New York City. So there's a strong possibility that New York is what will be in darkness. And the cause of the darkness is the smoke from the pit, which is caused by the asteroid right here. So the third portion of the earth refers to possibly New York City. It seems like that's the likelihood of it, because like I said, the UN is the beast, we've shown that, and it's headquartered in New York. And it says the seat of the beast will be in darkness, and the darkness is caused by the asteroid strike. Okay, so that's the reasoning there. But we don't know where the third portion of it is. We know it affects the seat of the beast, but where is the third portion of the earth? We're not really sure. I mean, it could be this right here, or it could be like I was saying, North and South America. We don't know. But that third portion of the earth is where the army in Iraq will attack. That's what the Revelation 9 is telling us. So the third portion of the earth may not even be segregated like this. It may follow the wind patterns, but we know that it includes the seat of the beast. So that means the army that is being prepared in Iraq right now is very likely preparing to attack America. And that's actually what a lot of people have been saying. That's something that I know John McCain has been warning about, that they're planning to attack America. And that's actually what it says in Revelation 9. It says they're going to attack the third part of the earth where the asteroid strikes. The asteroid hits where the seat of the beast is. The beast is the UN. It's headquartered in New York. So it does look that way. Again, we don't know, but that's the way it looks right now. Okay, but there's more to this scripture, because it's also calling attention to the four horns right here and the four winds. Because the four angels right here hold back the four winds. So Ezekiel 43 talks about the four horns. When it mentions the temple, it says the blood will be on the four horns. And this is symbolic. We know it's symbolic because it says all throughout the Bible that the Lord hates the blood sacrifice of animals. It does. It says it all throughout the Bible. So why would the Lord be requiring blood sacrifice if the Lord hates blood sacrifice? Because it's symbolic. So the blood on the horns may refer to those who are killed by the four horns of the beast. We don't know, because we know the beast, there are four horns of the goat, etc. And that has to do with the beast as well. It's connected. And then it says here, 7 days will pass, and on the 8th day I will accept you. So that could be referring to a 7-year period. We don't really know. But the four horns are also mentioned in Zechariah 1. It says the horns which have scattered Judah, Israel, and Jerusalem. So this refers to those who will be rescued. It's not referring to the Middle Eastern country. Jerusalem refers to the bride right here that will be taken to a heavenly place during the asteroid impact. 3.5 years, it says in Revelation 12. And they will be put back on the earth afterward. So the bride right here, as it's called, the bride Jerusalem is a multitude of humans, and the temple, the third temple that so many people think will be built in the Middle East, it actually refers to a body of people, the body of Christ, so to speak. And Jerusalem refers to the bride, the first group to be rescued. And Israel refers to the 12 tribes, or the 12 sons of Jacob, which we found out in the Out of Africa video seems to refer to all of humanity. So Israel, all of humanity, and Jerusalem, the ones who will be rescued, and Judah, which is one of the 12 tribes of humanity. It says the horns will scatter them. And then Daniel 8 explains the four horns in the greatest detail. It says the four horns grow out of the goat. The great goat was broken, and for it came up four notable ones toward the four winds of heaven. And remember, the leopard, which parallels this, had 4 heads and 4 wings. So this right here is a chart out of my ebook. It's linked below. But you can see the four horns are right here. And by the way, the Roman Empire right here was the beast formerly, but the final phase of the beast is right here. That's not on that chart, so I just wanted to mention that. But Daniel 8 tells us the goat is the king of Greece, right here, verse 21, and it will be broken into four sections, the four horns, which are also referred to as the four heads of the leopard. It's right here. And these four heads are later the four wings right here that go after they go up toward heaven. Because remember, it says right here that the four horns go up toward heaven. So even though we know this started with Alexander the Great, it doesn't end until the last end of verse 19 right here, at the time appointed. So this final king, the one that will destroy by peace, will stand up against the Prince of Princes, which is God. And this occurs in the latter time of those four kingdoms, right here in verse 23. So again, the goat was Alexander the Great, and the four horns were the four kingdoms his empire was broken into after his death, right here. So green is Greece, orange is the Turkish region, the purple down here is Egypt, and the yellow portion was the Seleucid Empire, which now includes Syria and modern-day Iraq, as well as Pakistan, Afghanistan, and some other countries. So that Seleucid Empire, that was the king of the north during that time, and Egypt was the king of the south. Daniel 11 talks about that right here. But these are the four horns that it's talking about. So when it says a voice, when it says here in Revelation 9 that a voice from the four horns says, "Free those who are bound in the Euphrates," it seems to be referring to the altar in heaven, but it's possible that that's a mistranslation, or that it refers to the four horns, the beast, because again, Yehovah is the beast. Hosea tells us that right here, because they altered the text, Jeremiah 8:8. So, and they put this name in there that was not in there originally. It's a whole another thing. We've talked about it many times before, so go watch some of the other videos. But the four horns say, release, in Revelation 9, the four horns say, release those bound in the Euphrates to prepare an army of 200 million to attack the third portion of the earth after the asteroid impact. And the king who destroys by peace will stand up at the latter time of those four kingdoms. We've talked about this before. So the Turkish Empire was the last of these four empires. The Turkish Empire was the last, and it was dissolved in 1923 right here. And that was when the King of Peace was rising, the League of Nations, right here, which later became the United Nations, which is the current phase of the beast with 7 heads and 10 horns. And that's what Daniel 8 says. Verse 23, it says, in the latter time of their kingdom, a king of fierce countenance will stand up, and by peace shall destroy many. And we know that the word king can also refer to kingdom in the book of Daniel. We've talked about that. It refers to a world government, which we now know as the UN. And we talk about that in the video, The Dragon, the Beast, and the Harem. It's linked below. But the UN rose up at the end of the Turkish Empire in the 20s. Exactly what Daniel said. That's when it rose up, and it's still ruling now. It's headquartered in New York City. Okay, so those are the four horns right there. In Daniel 8, verse 9, it says, out of one of them came a little horn. So a little horn, or a little country, came out of these four right here. And this is interesting. It's called the Sykes-Picot Treaty in 1916. And I have to stop right here and start the next part. The link is below.